I grew up in the TriCity area. Grew up in Coquitlam. Actually, now I'm living in the same neighborhood where I grew up. Okay, bye guys.
Bye, Dad.
At the end of this street was a ravine, which was just trees, and we would take our BMX bikes through there, make forts. I mean, what more could you ask for? My neighbors were the first ones that prayed for me. We didn't go to church growing up, but right here, this family, McNally family, Walker family, invited me over in grade school. They were praying for me. At the time, I didn't think anything of it, but I think God was at work then. And then right over here, Jones family, Keith, invited me to youth group. So I would go across the lawn, and every Sunday they would take me to church, and that's where I heard the gospel. That's where I got saved. It really started off as a neighborhood, like the church does, inviting your neighbors. So it's kind of neat being in the same community that I grew up in and having the same kind of heart for the lost that my neighbors did. In fact, some of those neighbors are actually going to come and be part of TriCity Church, which is so very cool. How you doing, Norm?
See you.
So this is TriCity Church, or going to be.
Fantastic.
It's great.
You guys want to take a look?
Yeah,
absolutely. Be great. Big old school kitchen right now.
Every church has to have a fireside room. This one has a sign on the
And it is
wall.
called
that says
fireside room.
Look at that, man. Drum kit right there.
Oh, the electronic
Nice.
drum kit.
Oh,
This is pretty much, there's no renos in this room particularly. Yeah, classrooms all the way around. So we're in partnership, we use that word a lot. What does it actually look like for three churches to come together, to govern, to lead, to help TriCity Church? What is that?
I think my initial conversation with Jeff had shared that they had the resources and they had a building. What they need is a guy, and they need people.
We knew we felt called to the Tri-Cities, but weren't sure about the details.
That's right.
And then heard that Northview had acquired this building. So at that point, what was going on at Northview? You guys had...
It's totally backwards.
Right.
Right? I mean, like normally you take,
Start with the
you
building.
obviously
and then
you
what do we
you
do?
find the church planter
Right.
and you do that, but right at the front end, we're thinking to ourselves, well, we're going to have to be involved with other churches at some level with this.
I hear about Northview buying this. I hear about you.
Right, I had a few
Maybe
conversations.
connection to this. I know you're over at Crossridge. So I have a meeting with Jeff, and I just share the story. I still want to do something. I'm actually still interested in talking with Matt. And then Jeff looks at me across the, having coffee in Fort Langley, and says, we'd like to partner. And at that moment, it was the Spirit of God just descended on that time. It was just such a gracious time of, God is in this. And that led to conversations with Crossridge and this, and coming together and just going, okay, can this work? Why can't it work? This is fantastic. So we talked about wanting to do more of these, but this first endeavor is coming under the leadership of the Northview eldership.
What we can offer at Northview is some financial backing. We can offer a building, but we can't provide as many people because we have like maybe 3-4 families that come from Maple Ridge, Tri-Cities area, whereas these guys have way more people involved. And the problem for us is that we don't have the experience in planning churches like these guys have, right? They've done it from scratch. I haven't done it.
But it requires a humility.
And I think part of the beauty of it is the three churches bring different strengths to it and have something different to offer to Matt and to what's going to be happening at TriCity Church.
Absolutely.
Right, I think that's because it's great, it is good, but that relationship needs to be based on something, right? And that's why people are coming, because they hear, I know you take the Word of God seriously. I know that I'm going to come, I'm going to hear the Word preached. I know that there's a focus in the community, a missional focus. We're looking for the people who are feeling that call, not just in terms of I live down the road, which is great. I mean, that's helpful, but what we are hoping is they will heed that call. They'll feel convicted by the Spirit of God to say, I want to be on mission here. And so I want to be in a place where I know that when I invite my neighbors, they're going to come to meet Jesus. And by God's grace, we have this building, but more importantly, we have a people who know what they're about, know what God has called them to, and then we see what God's going to do.